Wait, there's something very weak coming through.
For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice in the Old Republic. Before the dark times. Before the Empire.
The First Galactic Empire!
We cannot let 1,000 years of democracy disappear without a fight.
This part is over.
I'm not going to wait around for the Empire to draft me into service. The rebellion is spreading.
The time to fight is now!
And I want to be on the side I believe in.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'm stuck here.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
He has too much of his father in him.
That's what I'm afraid of.
You fought in the Clone Wars?
Yes. I was once a Jedi Knight, the same as your father. He was the best star pilot in the galaxy.
This is where the fun begins.
And a cunning warrior. And he was a good friend.
You were my brother, Anakin!
I want to learn the ways of the Force and become a Jedi like my father.
You've taken your first step into a larger world.
Han Solo. I'm captain of the Millennium Falcon. You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon? It's a ship that made the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs.
You don't believe in the Force, do you?
Kid, I've flown from one side of this galaxy to the other. I've seen a lot of strange stuff, but I've never seen anything to make me believe there's one all-powerful force controlling everything.
I like this kid. So what's your name, anyway? All right, well, you're gonna need a nickname, because I ain't saying that every time.
Chewie, get us out of here!
That's no moon.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
You know, I was getting along fine before I met you two moon jockeys.
Situation normal. We're all fine here now. How are you?
Good luck.
I'm looking for a Jedi Master.
You will learn from Yoda. Much anger in him.
You're not all powerful.
Well, I should be.
Like his father.
I will be the most powerful Jedi ever.
Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Luke Skywalker. I thought he was a myth.
The prophecy of the one who will bring balance to the Force.
The Jedi were real.
I used to wonder about that myself. Thought it was a bunch of mumbo-jumbo.
The Force is what gives the Jedi his power.
A magical power holding together good and evil, the dark side and the light.
It's an energy field created by all living things.
Crazy thing is,
It surrounds us.
it's true.
It penetrates us.
The Force, the Jedi,
It binds the galaxy together.
all of it.
There is still good in it.
It's all true.
Do you know what happened to him?
He was training a new generation of Jedi.
What you have done.
One boy, an apprentice, turned against him and destroyed it all.
Show me again the power of the darkness. Grandfather, and I will finish what you started.
We lost our son. There's too much Vader in him.
We can still save him.
Master Skywalker, I'm from the Resistance. We need your help.
His father's lightsaber.
I will teach you the ways of the Jedi.
What will you become?
It's time to let old things die.
Strike me down and I'll always be with you.
That boy is our last hope.
No. There is another.
It calls to you.
You cannot escape your destiny.
Reach out, kid! I am a Jedi. Like my father before me.
The Force will be with you. Always.
galaxy far, far away.
What? Oh my gosh. Heather, we have a trailer.
It looks great.
It looks amazing. But it's not the trailer that we were expecting.
Oh.
It's not episode 9. This is Star Wars Always. And it was by Topher Grace and Jeff Yorks. Topher Grace is like from That 70s Show.
Yep.
And he played a really bad Eddie Brock in Spider-Man 3 for Venom. But basically, he tweeted out, like, the wives were away, and we watched all these movies and edited it over the weekend and got this trailer. And if he's not at Celebration showing this trailer to everyone, I'd be very sad, because this is everything that Star Wars should be.
Yes. Yes.
So what do you?
And
yeah.
more
What do
yes.
you think? What do you think of this 5-minute trailer of awesomeness?
Okay, so I watched it, previous, and then having just rewatched it here for the podcast.
Yes.
Both times, people, I got misty. I mean, you get to that very end and they start just like flashing each character.
Yeah.
And, at the very end, you just hear that word always. And, I watched the first time that I watched it, I was much more emotional than the second time, but partly because
more controlled this time, a little bit more controlled.
I knew what I was getting myself into, friends.
Yeah.
But I just saw the full story. I mean, you just saw the entire universe come together, and there was a moment where I just was like, man, I wish Bruce could have seen this. Like, I wish he could have seen it. But then at the same time, it brought to my mind, like, crap, this is what he's been talking about for forever.
He's already seen it. He's already
seen it. Like, he gets it. And just so cool how they just mixed the new with the old, and specifically when they start the clicks for Solo.
Yes.
I mean, I just thought that was so clever.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a deep cut, because it starts off with deleted scenes that you can only get from a CD-ROM, which is basically Luke looking at and Tatooine. He's looking at the space battle, which is Leia's ship and chasing after Darth Vader, and he sees that, and there's cuts of Biggs and him talking. I mean, there's some deleted scenes in Revenge of the Sith. There's Bail talking with Mon Mothra. That's a delete scene. So there's some deep cuts here, but Star Wars is all about themes, and it's when you edit it correctly, you can see it. Like there's that great shot of like Luke vanishing in The Last Jedi, and then and Vader striking him and Obi-Wan, and you're like, oh, okay, like you see it, and it's just there's the Yoda overlay with there is another, which is referring to Princess Leia, but then they flash to Force Awakens when Rey grabs the lightsaber, and you're just like, yes,
well,
even though. Yeah.
There was a moment too, like just musically speaking, where there's like a crash into each other, and it's, Han and Leia hugging again in Force Awakens, and it's this it's just their timing. Of it all.
Yeah, it's funny too, like not funny, but just like how powerful editing can be, and just because the material's there. But like the editing with John Williams' score and all, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, because they were using some trailer music as well as some deleted scenes, and it's great. It's fantastic. So we got the trailer. It's just not the episode 9 trailer, and I at this point in February. We're in March, people. We are in March.
Yep.
March has come, and we ain't get it till Celebration. There's just There's no reason to put it out now.
Oh no, there's zero reason to bring it out now.
Yeah, exactly. All right, what else we got in the news?
What? I'm so glad you mentioned Celebration, Todd.
I know.
It's all about those transitions, people.
It is.
So Wednesday, the 27th of February, we got more announcements for guests. We've got Ray Park. And if you don't know who Ray Park is, Google. And then go, oh, that guy.
That guy. Yeah.
AKA Darth Maul. From The Phantom Menace and his, spoiler alert, surprise cameo at the end of Solo.
Right.
So he's headed this direction.
That's right.
We've got Matt Lanter, more commonly known as the voice of Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yes. Right.
And then Taya Sircar.
Yes.
Taya, I hope that's right. Who plays our artistic Mandalorian warrior Sabine, in Rebels.
There you go.
So huge excitement, people.
They're going to be announcing guests right till the very end.
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
So who knows? They'll probably announce one once we all get there, and there'll be like a mad rush to like conference room B or something. I don't know.
Right, exactly. There's more Celebration news. They also announced that they're going to get our first glimpse of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order from EA on Saturday, April 13th. So in this game, players will meet the Padawan who survived Order 66 and explore the galaxy in a time after the fall of the Jedi Order. So they've done this before at Celebration. So they did this with Star Wars Battlefront, seeing the trailer, seeing some behind the scenes stuff. So I think we will get a trailer for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and a discussion panel, obviously, with the developer. So that should be cool. That's also happening. There's also at Celebration, if we've been plugging this for a couple of weeks, it's the Star Wars A Night of Celebration at Canto Bight. You can find out all the information at swbash.com. Basically, you get entry to the Chicago Museum of Science and Industry, which is a fun museum, and you get to have fun at Canto Bight. So all the costume clubs have come together to do this. So if you want to find more information about this, go to swbash.com. Get your tickets now before they're sold out. All right, Heather.
Sir.
Something else happened this weekend or this week. All this news about Galaxy's Edge. We probably could spend the next 45 minutes talking about Galaxy's Edge.
Correct.
But there's so much that came out. What are some of the things that you are excited about that you saw from all the press release from Galaxy's Edge?
So I think my very first reaction was there was a stock photo sent out of this like dad and his kid walking up towards the Millennium Falcon, and I said it is never going to be it is never going to look like that. There is not enough people, and I was like, this is unrealistic, people.
Lies.
So I lied.
Deceptions.
So that was definitely my first reaction, but it definitely led to holy crap, it's the Millennium Falcon. Like,
it's too much.
I don't even know where to start, because
you're
going to be like, I can go and get a drink in the cantina, but I can go fly a ship, and I can probably interact with like characters and probably build a droid somewhere. I don't know. It's too much. I think that was my initial gut, Todd, is it's too overwhelming.
It's too much. There's the animatronic Hondo from Clone Wars that is scary real, and it's basically right underneath the Avatar AI kind of computer person that they have in the Avatar park. So it's really it's a super complex animatronic robot that is Hondo. You get to go into Millennium Falcon. They have all these drinks that are blue and green, and
for sure.
They have. I know I sent you that pic. You can go to the Droid Depot and buy your own droid and stuff. And I'm just like, what is all this? And they have, you can use your phone to scan crates to hack things, and it's like just a whole like
thing. Yeah. Well, and isn't there something with their costumes or something?
Well, yeah. So the first press release was basically they had the Disney folks, like actual Disney people, take a tour of the park, and they debuted their outfits. And all these outfits, there's enough combinations where you can have, they have like, let's say 10 basic outfits, but then with all the different combinations, each staffer could have like 32 different combos or something. And it's really well done as far as like, hey, mix and match this, and now you're a totally different person. Yeah. And I thought that was fantastic. And and then once they released, did the kind of press thing, you can buy Jedi robes if you want to while you're there and be in total character. And I'm just like, this is too much. This is like
till they start selling Queen Amidala wardrobes for adults. I'm out.
You're out. You're like, I can't do this. I can't do this.
Go big or go home, people.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. It is opening this fall, guys.
Oh my
gosh. As this progresses into like where actual real people, like common folks, I mean, the press was pretty jazzed about this. And so when common folks see it, I think it's just going to blow up. And like you said, you will never get that picture of the dad and the kid like, oh, here's the shot of the Millennium Falcon. No, there's going to be like 30,000 people the whole time.
Right.
So, and there was already memes going around with that already filled in for everything.
Yeah.
So there you go. That was the news of the week. No, nothing big. We might have to talk about Galaxy's Edge again, but it was enough to
and again.
Yes, exactly. Hey, hello, fellow Galactic listeners. I'm Todd Hoffman, and this is WSTR Galactic Public Access, a Star Wars podcast. Welcome to episode 112. Today, we're going to go through the many changes of the Star Wars movies with the 2011 Blu-ray release. I haven't figured it out. Joining me today, as always, is Miss Heather Allred.
Hey, friends. I'm excited.
We are stoked, yes. And unfortunately, Mr. Aaron Julian has the night off. He is
deep in Jedi training.
Yes, exactly.
At his institution of learning.
Yes. He is looking through many holocrons to get all the information he needs for midterms.
Yes.
So without further ado, let's jump into our main topic.
Splash.
And now for our feature presentation.
Splash,
we jumped in.
We jumped in. We're in the water. We're in the water. All
right, okay. Todd.
So, if you haven't checked it out, check out episode 97. We go through extensively special edition trilogy release.
True.
Okay. So, fast forward a little bit. That was 1997. Mm-hmm. In 2004, Lucasfilm, Georgie, he likes to mess with stuff. So in 2004, they did original trilogy release on DVD. Okay. And there was some significant alterations, and we're just going to cover a couple. One of them was when they're filming Revenge of the Sith. He's like, hey, Ian, you're already in the Emperor garb. Why don't we do the real Emperor for Empire Strikes Back? So they put Ian McDiarmid in Empire Strikes Back, and he's in his full Empire gear, Emperor gear for Empire. So, and they alter a little bit of the conversation between Darth Vader and himself. So that's one big one. Another one that got me upset and a lot of other people upset. You can't choose how you're going to look after you die. I'm just going to say that right now. But this is what happened. It's the infamous Hayden Christensen replacement of Sebastian Shaw at the end with the ghosts. They should have added Qui-Gon, but hey, that's just me. They put in Hayden because now, hey, I know, Luke, this is who you saw, but now I'm different because I'm a good guy, and that's that whole thing. So, and I think also in the end of Return of the Jedi, you know how they have the nice little celebration with special editions?
Yeah.
They add another, they add Naboo, and you see a bunch of Gungans and Nabooianites. I don't know what their names are, but they're celebrating. They're celebrating.
Yes.
So they basically added Theed in that celebration sequence. That was huge. But we're here today, Heather, to talk about 2011 Blu-ray alterations for all the films.
All of them.
All of them. So we're not going to go through all of them because then, again, just like Galaxy's Edge, we would be here like all night.
I gotta go to bed at some point, Todd.
We do.
Yes.
Exactly. So as far as like actual Blu-ray sales, it's like number 29 on the list. So
that
it's
ain't
made
bad.
Not bad for
all
a movie.
the movies. Yeah.
All the movies on Blu-ray. Do you know what the number one selling Blu-ray DVD is, Heather?
You know, if I hadn't cheated and looked at the list provided to us for the sake of podcasting, the answer would have been like, I don't know. You know, possibly some, you would think, like The Godfather or, some really classic like Wizard of Oz, something very substantial that you just grow up with.
No.
But no, that's not what it is, people.
It is according through www.the-numbers.com. This is where I'm getting the information, people. Frozen.
Let it go.
I literally just watched it as this recording. I just watched Frozen. So I'm ready. I know all the songs. I know everything.
Totally.
I could totally do Frozen. So Frozen, Avatar, we just mentioned, Despicable Me 2 is number 3.
Interesting.
The Force Awakens is number 4. And rounding out the top 5 is The Avengers.
Nice.
So kind of interesting, but, a couple Disney, Avatar, Despicable Me 2. So pretty interesting. Okay. Whew. So here we go. We're kind of going to go sequentially through.
Smart.
Numerically, not release. So we're going to start with Phantom Menace. Okay.
Perfect.
We kind of talked about this when we were kind of going through our little revisits, but Yoda puppet gone. He's gone. Blu-ray release. He is the CGI model that they used in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Now the scary Yoda puppet, he's gone. That's pretty big. That's big.
It's a big one.
It's a big one. A lot of these are just like some technical things. Like let's see here. Oh, right after Jabba the Hutt's introduction before the pod race, a new voice is heard from a spectator when the camera is focused on the crowd. You needed that extra voice.
That one extra voice, people.
Yeah.
Changes everything.
It does. Calls from the Senate to vote now when Queen Amidala puts forward a motion of no confidence has been replaced with the sound of general uproar. You need more crowd noise.
Yep.
Need more crowd noise. Yep. So I obviously CGI Yoda is big. That's a big one. That was a big.
Yeah.
Because like I know you said this when we did the revisit. Like I think you said it scared you.
Yeah. And it was interesting because I remember when I obtained the films, I didn't have the Blu-ray.
Okay.
So, but again, I had seen the original trilogy, and that's the Yoda I know.
Right.
And so, while prequel puppet Yoda was a puppet, it still looked off to me, and then they just completely changed it to CGI. Because when I would go over to Bruce's to watch it, he had the Blu-rays, and I'm like, why does Yoda look different every time I watch a movie?
Yeah. He ages, doesn't age.
It's
He's got lots of hair. He doesn't got lots of hair.
so weird. It's so weird. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That one, I could spend a lot on Puppet Yoda. It's like, didn't you guys watch Empire? Because he looks nothing like Empire Yoda, you know? And then, so Last Jedi, he looks a lot better.
Yes.
Yeah, he looks a lot better. A little different. Still a little different, but a little better. Yeah.
Totally.
Okay. Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
One of the big ones is during Anakin's nightmare scene, a voiceover of his mother, Shmi, is added. Okay. This one is actually good because I remember in the theater, a lot of people got some chuckles because he's dreaming and he's like, Mom, no. And like, it's just a little awkward, but they show basically like her calling out to him. Like that's the voiceover. So I think that's good. Let's see. After Yoda saves Obi-Wan and Anakin from Dooku's falling pillar, the reaction shots of Yoda and then Anakin and Obi-Wan are moved to before the shots of Dooku escaping on a ship and ship, which makes sense. It's a timing thing. Like they wait till Dooku leaves, there's an edit, and then they go back to them recovering from. So it's like more fluid, you know. Nothing too major.
Sure.
It says Padme and the clone troopers arriving and fire at him. This edit creates an irregularity in the background music. So now that they've messed with it, they didn't change the music. Yep. So, you know, that's what you get. Okay. Revenge of the Sith. Okay. Let's see what we got here.
I don't know. Let's see.
What we got?
Yeah. So we got a scene with Obi-Wan encountering General Grievous. The clone army arrives. They're altered, adding dialogue from the troopers as they land on the platform.
You need more dialogue from those clone troopers.
I mean, you know, and again, it's like I'm reading, you know, some of these and looking at these changes, and I'm like, I don't know that I hate this, but
yeah, no,
it's, you know, got to fill in some of the dead space, I suppose. So,
the Kashyyyk headquarters rooftop was rendered to appear more significantly aged by adding moss and rust.
Okay.
I know when I was in the theater, I'm like, you know what? That big tree that Yoda's on, it doesn't look aged enough. Yeah.
Did you have that thought while watching it and it ruined the entire film for you?
It ruined me. It ruined it. But yeah. But you know, again, this is George. He's constantly, it's his baby. He can tweak it as much as Ron. Okay. Speaking about tweaking, here we go.
Let's tweak.
Back to the original trilogy. We're back already.
We're back to New Hope?
New Hope. Here we go. This is a big one. It's a big one.
Okay.
A rock was added in front of R2-D2 while he's hiding from the Tusken Raiders after they attack Luke. This confused many fans as the hole he peeked out of was smaller than R2 himself. Okay, people, let's frame this out. So...
Frame it out.
Basically, R2's in a nook when they kind of drop Luke. The Tusken Raiders drop Luke on the ground, okay? And then they go rummage his land speeder. And then, you know, Obi-Wan shows up, scares everybody away. And when he does his, you know, takes off his hood, he looks, and there's a cut of R2 like he's in a little nook. He's like in a little cave, like a little nook, right? Somehow that bothered George so much that he put all these CGI rocks around him, and it's like Yoda. R2 is just peeking out of this hole. What do you think of this one there, Heather?
I'm trying to remember it visually in my head.
Yeah.
To be like, am I bothered by this? I'm sure that I am.
When it confuses a lot of fans, it bothers people.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know. I'm really kind of drawing a blank, which is kind of comical because I think the thing I remember of that scene, I remember R2 hiding. I don't necessarily remember the rock.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm so excited just to see Obi-Wan, to be completely
Right.
honest.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, obviously when you change major elements of sets and scenery, I mean, that's huge. It's like...
It's huge.
Cutting...
And it's unnecessary. It's like...
Let's put a red
R2's gotta,
couch
like,
in there.
Yeah, like R2's got to like do a side shuffle to get into his little cave now. You know, it just doesn't make sense.
Just makes it more inconvenient.
Yeah. Speaking of which, they change the Kyrite Dragon again for Obi-Wan. It just sounds totally different from the original cut. They messed with it in the special editions. They messed with it, I'm sure, in the 2004 DVD release.
Probably.
And again, they're just like, we got to get this dragon right. They do it again in Blu-ray, in the Blu-ray release. So there you go. Okay, some frames have been removed during the Han and Greedo shootout, leaving the scene more seamless. So basically, special edition, Greedo shoots first.
Yep.
2004, I think they tweaked it a little bit, and now in Blu-ray, it almost basically they fire at the same time. It is what it is. Greedo's not gonna,
We all know the truth, people.
Yeah, we do.
So,
Let's
remember.
Yeah. Let's see here.
So,
what else?
There was one where, like, there's an issue with lightsabers. We've got Luke training in the Millennium Falcon. The green lightsaber has been corrected to blue. But only the one shot was fixed, leaving the rest of the effects in their original state.
The CGI guys were like, I just got to do one,
Right.
It is, the lightsabers have been tweaked a little bit, but there you go. Okay, let's see. What's happening in Empire?
Empire.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Digitally removed puppeteering flaw of rig visible on a Wampa arm attacking Luke. Okay, so...
Yes.
They couldn't get the Wampas right, and it was frozen in Norway, and so they're filming from the hotel. They couldn't get the Wampa to walk because it's a blizzard, and so they use a puppet arm and a puppet mask to... and so basically you could see the puppet arm wire, so they fixed that.
Yep.
Great.
That I do remember seeing the string and being guys,
come on. It is, and they talked about this before too. It's very hard to film on white.
Oh,
so anything,
totally.
Yeah. And so back in 1980, that slides. 2011, they got to cut it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not mad.
No, that's good. That's a good one. I'm good with that. There's sparks have been added to the melting chamber when Chewbacca is searching for the remains of C-3PO in Cloud City. Need more sparks, Heather.
Flash.
Yeah, so there you go. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, let's move on to Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
What do we got in Return of the Jedi, Heather?
All right. So, our dear friend Jabba. So the door to his palace was edited to appear larger.
Does he have a complex? Is it an inferiority complex that he needs like a huge door?
That, or he doesn't want to look awkward trying to squeeze into the littler door.
right.
I don't know. Does the bigger door make him look smaller?
I don't know. Maybe, that's probably what it is.
I mean, there's so many things, so...
Heather, I think you should also take the other one.
I'm having a really hard time with this one.
Okay. Do tell our dear listeners what this one.
Computer-generated eyelids were added to some of the Ewoks.
They blink, people.
Ewoks blink.
No, they do.
And I don't know why we had to add that feature, but that's okay.
Well, okay.
I mean,
so
I get it's more expressive, Todd, but
can we just have black eyeballs?
I just don't get it.
Yeah, this one. Well, I mean, it's basically bringing more life to the creatures that the Ewoks are, but I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's weird. It's weird.
It's still weird.
One.
I feel like it's just weird.
Okay. I'm gonna say this one is. This is a big one for me in Return of the Jedi. Vader shouts no. In anger before he throws the Emperor down the pit. Okay.
All right. Talk to me. Talk me through it, man.
Vader, this is kind of like a comic book thing where you can see the expression. You don't need to see his face to understand what Vader's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I feel like Dave Prowse does a fantastic job here with just how he's like, he kind of looks at the Emperor, looks at his son, and kind of goes back and forth. There's some good editing here, and you're just like, he's going to do it. He's thinking about it. And he makes the move, and he basically, body slams, choke slams, one-armed Emperor down the chute, I just don't like the no. I think it just defeats the whole purpose of the thing where why would I don't think it's necessary, especially what we've seen. Like if it was a brand new one, okay, great. But since we've seen it for so long and now from 83 to now 2011, you're going to change it. This one doesn't sit well with me.
Well, and it's a major scene.
Yes.
And so if it worked before, we don't need to fix the scene that already had so much drama and so much storytelling in it.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Don't fix it. So there you go. 6 films at this time. And they tweaked them. They tweaked it.
Lots of tweaking. So, okay. So we kind of talked about all of them. What do you think they're good, most of them, or? I think some of them, like in Return of the Jedi, brighter flashes of light when Han is released from carbonite. Okay. Yeah, some of the things that we've mentioned, digitally removing the Wampa arm string. Obviously, some of these changes and, others that we haven't mentioned that are kind of smaller idiosyncrasy things and, reflections in windows. Yeah, some of this is all technological driven. Some of this is having the ability to make those little minor adjustments to fill out things. No problem.
Yes.
The adding weird additional verbiage from Anakin during a nightmare dream. Is that just because Hayden needed another line or,
right.
help, mom issue sympathy? I don't know. Is it the Yoda changes and some of these other these bigger ones? Is it? So I think some are good because I think it does round out what wasn't available back in the day.
Yes. Yeah. I I agree. I think technically, if you want to clean up the film, I'm all for that. I have a real hard time with the one in 2004 with the Hayden replace.
Yeah, for sure.
The Emperor replace makes sense because he actually looks like the Emperor instead of some girl wearing a mask with a chimpanzee's eyes or whatever. And I get that stuff. I think that makes sense. But like when you, again, in the 97 version, when you are altering how Han Solo fries Greedo, it's like,
Yep.
And now, the egregious one here on the Blu-ray for me is this Vader shouts no. It's like, oof. Georgie, you're like almost like it's almost at that point it's almost like you can't stop, and I agree. Like I feel like technical things is great. I feel like you want to make that cleaner. You want to polish this thing as best you can, and but yeah, it's some of these ones you're altering things after it's already released. It's like, oh, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the Blu-ray, this is, if it is a wealth of information, all the extras, there's so many extras. there's a great. This is before obviously I joined the 501st. There's a great 501st thing on here about George was the, what would you call it? I guess the honorary, I don't know what you call it, but basically for the Rose Bowl, he is, I don't want to say the maitre d'. I don't know what he is. He's like some kind of, he leads the parade. I don't know what it's called.
Master of ceremonies?
Yes.
For the parade kind of thing? Gotcha. I'm following.
Yeah. So they basically, Lucasfilm wanted to have the 501st in there, and they do auditions from all around the world. And it's a great edited piece as far as everyone auditioning, selecting each of the countries, and then they march in unison, behind George, and it looks fantastic, and it's a must watch. The infamous holiday special is on here, just Boba Fett. So yeah, the cartoon is on here, which is great. There's a lot of extras that are a lot of fun, a lot of Weird Al music videos that you can't go wrong with that are added here,
So really,
yeah,
what can go wrong?
If you don't have the Blu-ray of the Star Wars, I guess you could say, well, maybe if you wait till episode 9, they're going to release
probably the whole Skywalker saga.
Right. But they're going to take things out that you can only get on the 2011 Blu-ray. So if you haven't got it, the art's fantastic. It's really well designed.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to, I mean, as a Star Wars fan, it's as close as you're going to get for right now with all the extras. It is definitely a good buy to have it. So there you go. That's what I find.
I agree.
Yeah. Despite all the changes, it's still, it's canon. It's everything is right here on the Blu-ray. So there you go.
And that's the beauty of it. And I think that's something that we've learned from even just the Topher, always trailer that we watched. Regardless of whether or not Hayden's a Force ghost at the end, and whether or not, we don't know if Han or Greedo shot first. Regardless of all of those things, you're still having the Star Wars marathons. You're still watching them. You're still putting them in, grabbing some popcorn. You're still introducing them to your kids and doing all the things, because at the end of the day, the changes themselves haven't done enough to be like, well, this all is just awful and throwing it out the window. It's not necessarily changing the integrity of the storyline. It is canon. Yes. It is the original vision of George. Yeah. So whether you like that one particular scene or not, it doesn't change the fact that Star Wars as a whole is awesome. And so I think that's what we rest on is,
that's right.
Let's look at it. Let's look at the evolving world that it is and how it's changed on DVDs. I think that's a really fun thing for people who didn't see it in the theatrical release and who, may have never seen it on VHS. I never saw it on a VHS,
What?
I'm a late bloomer, people.
Right. It's all good. It's all good.
But then to see it and know that the changes happened. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think, so. I think you said that very well. We're not throwing it away when it's not going in the, throwing it out with the bathwater. But, I see it from a perspective of me kind of going through it as I saw it in the theater, VHS, DVD, and you see all these different, like, wait, is that different? Yes, it is. And I find that fascinating because it is a different picture every time you see it.
Yeah.
For people that are just picking up the Blu-ray, it's like, oh, this is Star Wars. So they don't know any different. And I think, again, that's especially with the original trilogy, to me, it's still one of the most, it just it holds up. I mean, obviously there's some quirky parts that don't hold up, but overall it holds up. And I feel like that's the whole point of tweaking this a little bit more. You want it to be a little bit as modern as possible. So if you want to add, an extra Doug walking through Jabba's palace because that ties in Phantom Menace with Return of the Jedi, great, fine. Okay, I'm good. But I think it's still like you said, Heather. We're not throwing it away. We're not throwing it away, and you still see the absolute awesome themes that are in Star Wars, and it will always be there. So there you go.
Woo!
All right, we got to pay the bills. So,
okay.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so, check us out on social media.
Do it.
WSTR Media, all one word, all lowercase. You can email us at mailbox@wstrmedia.com, or you can leave us a voicemail, 630-557-WSTR. That's 630-557-9787. You can say, hey, these are the things I like about the Blu-ray, or maybe you did throw the Blu-ray, like, after that no from Darth Vader, I said no to Star Wars. Who knows? I don't know. But then why are you listening to Star Wars podcasts? Maybe you're not. You never know. I don't know. But you can catch all our back catalog of episodes, like episode 97, when we go through the special editions at podcast.wstrmedia.com. You can search on us on YouTube. Just search WSTR Media and subscribe. And you will miss none of our live streams because we're not live streaming again. I don't know what's happening. We're in a bad streak.
It's hard, people.
It's hard, people. It's hard. But you will get our episodes on YouTube. And when we live stream, it'll be a nice surprise. It'll be like the fantastic surprise, You could also, we have a deal with Audible. So you go to audibletrial.com/WSTR. You can get a free Audible book and 30-day subscription for free. There's like 4,000 titles to choose from. I mean, there's just so many. Your iPhone, Android, Kindle, MP3 player, whatever you want. You could do that. And so listen to, our listeners get this free trial. So again, it is www.audibletrial.com/WSTR. Keep a book, 30 days. And if you don't like it, Heather, you can cancel anytime.
Just get out.
Get out.
Just stop and go.
Yes, exactly. And so,
but you get to keep your book, people.
Forever.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win. It is. It pretty much is. And it helps us out a little bit too. So we appreciate that.
Yes.
So try that out. Again, audibletrial.com/WSTR. We also got merch. Store.wstrmedia.com. We got all kinds of stuff and more stuff to come. So please check that out and help support us. Let's do Twitter Trash Compactor, Heather.
Twitter Trash Compactor.
Get in there, you big polio! I don't care what you smell. Get in there and don't worry about it.
I know. Okay, so, every week we do a poll. Try to keep it relevant.
Yes.
Last week I had a thing with church. I couldn't make it. You were dying, I think. I'm not sure what was happening.
I don't know. I hung out in the bathroom quite a bit. That's basically all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. And so we were like, Aaron, we're out. And luckily JD came to the table, man. JD, we love you. Fan favorite JD came back quickly, and they did a fun little thing. And they're like, well, we're going to throw out what we're going to play on last week, so that's why you get the Blu-ray this week. But they read a fan fiction, and you got to hear Anakin in a European accent, like a Eastern European accent, which was fantastic. So so they celebrated a little fan fiction and had a little fun along the way. So here's the question, Heather.
Yes.
If you would write a Star Wars fan fiction piece,
okay,
what time era would it be in? Okay. So I have to preface this. We only have 4 choices for Twitter polls.
All right.
Okay. All right. So here we go. It's Old Republic.
Okay.
Prequels, original trilogy, and sequel trilogy.
Okay.
Okay.
Those are good options.
So those are good. I mean, kind of went sequentially, you know. So yeah, what do you think of this, Heather?
Yeah. So I voted.
Okay.
Like to get my voice out there in the world.
I appreciate that. Yeah, yeah.
And I went with the prequels.
Really?
I don't know why. That's a lie. I do know why.
And why is that?
Partly because I feel like I wanted to rewrite fan fiction for Padme and Anakin.
Oh, okay.
I don't naturally gravitate to super romantic thingies, whether it be books or movies or whatever. But there's something about them that I do find very interesting because it is. I don't know if it's just the awkwardness of the Phantom Menace and the age difference. It's just creepy. Creepy.
Right. Weird.
So I don't know if that would change things for me in that.
Okay.
But I found that very interesting to be an option as well. So, and then I would love to see fan fiction surrounding the council.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea what that would look like. But those are the things that I'm like, ooh, I would love to see that kind of explored out in fan fiction a little bit.
All right, cool. So if you did that, rewrite a little stuff. Yeah, I got it.
That's what I got.
I voted sequel trilogy.
Nice.
Because I just, not that it would change. I mean, I guess I could change all this stuff, but I'm not that bitter and angry about it.
Sure.
But I just think it'd be cool to kind of explore that area a little bit more because there's a lot left or a lot to be had. You know, there's a lot of gaps there.
Sure.
So I think it would be good to kind of spend some time in there. Again, not really necessarily anything I would change, but I don't know. Some it'd be fun to kind of explore in that space.
Yeah.
One of our listeners, I'm gonna shout this out to at Allie Kastner. She said actually interquequels, between OT and sequels. So interqueels. I don't know. She said I made it up myself. I
like it.
I love it. So between the original trilogy and the sequels.
Interesting. All right.
I like that. So she's, and I guess that's kind of where I was going too. Like, I think, you know, because you say, okay, Return of the Jedi, and then now Luke's off and you don't know where he's at.
Right.
And there is some canon stuff in there.
Right.
You can read Chuck Wendig's Aftermath. There's some stuff about after post Return of the Jedi, but there's a huge gap. You know, where the First Order came from, where all this stuff. I mean, there's some canon stuff that is out there. You can read Bloodlines, Lost in the Stars. There's some stuff which are good books, but there is a big gap, and I think that would be really cool to explore as well. So there you go.
So who won, Todd? Who won the overall vote?
That is a great question, and original trilogy won at 37%.
Nice.
So, I mean, there's a little gaps in between there too that you could explore. Or, hey, man, you want to go off and write your own, you know, you're going to rewrite history, and maybe something you want to say. You know what?
Totally.
Vader didn't say no, and Luke Skywalker died. I mean, you get a little morbid with that, you know. I don't know.
There's a lot of options.
There's a lot of options there, people. All right, so there you go. That was, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I just going to say, can I piggyback on our Twitter trash compactor?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, you know, you just follow things on Twitter because you've got nothing else going on in your life.
Or you're really sick and you're just looking at your phone.
Really sick and you've got nothing else to do.
Right. Stay alive, you know.
So, for those of you who have not seen this, let me share with you some really exciting news.
Okay.
So, John Cryer, an actor from like 2.5 Men and the old school, like 16 Candles, maybe not, but that whole John Hughes era.
Okay.
His daughter wrote a comic book. It's called Nar Wars, The Tale of Narth Vader.
Okay.
It is basically Star Wars starring narwhals.
Okay. And what is a narwhal?
So for those who don't know what a narwhal is, it's sort of like the cross between like a manatee dolphin thing with a horn, like a unicorn.
Oh, yes. Yes.
But the coolest thing about this is like Mark Hamill is like legit behind it, like retweeting it and stuff. And I just thought anytime that you get like an OT person fully supporting a kid's vision for Star Wars, I just think that is something to celebrate. And so
that's awesome.
Check out Narwhals through I think it's like at Mr. John Cryer is his handle. So check it out, people. Check it out.
Check it out. Awesome. All right, Heather, what should we move to?
Cantina chat.
All right.
Cantina chat. Okay. So.
Why don't you start?
I will start. So I picked up. I've got quite a bit this week again, guys. My nerd game is like through the roof.
Up there. It's through the roof. Yeah.
So Star Wars Celebration is coming up. So I have been working.
I haven't heard of it. What is that?
Oh, so it's this really cool thing happening in April.
Okay.
So outside of my continue working on the clothing that I want to wear there, since I'm making a few things to wear, I shelled out a pretty penny.
Okay.
And I purchased a photo op opportunity.
With who?
With Alan Tudyk.
Oh my god!
I'm so excited.
That is good. That's a
and
win.
I'm possibly like the worst Star Wars fan ever.
Okay.
Because I'm not necessarily going to see him because of K2SO.
Oh. King Candy.
He was Wash and Firefly, and I'm so excited.
Anyway. He did King Candy and Wreck-It Ralph.
He's Hey Hey and Moana. He does everything. Yeah.
He's that Wesselton guy in
in Frozen.
In Frozen. Yeah.
The number one Blu-ray selling movie ever.
So you brought it back to the news, to the main topic. Yep. What else, Heather?
I also purchased a new book. Because I pre-ordered Queen's Shadow, which I'm super excited about. But I also picked up It's Your Universe, which is a book written by Ashley Eckstein, who we all love as the actress in Clone Wars playing Osaka.
Yeah. I was just going to say, who is it?
Ahsoka. Sorry, I had to say it wrong to make Todd laugh because...
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Yeah.
So Ahsoka, and so it's super cool because I was excited, so I tweeted about it, and she totally retweeted me, and I felt like a celebrity. I was like, "Hey!"
Yeah, in fact, you sent us a picture of the retweet, and you're like, "I will be taking autographs," you know.
So that's super cool.
You know what? It's another positive thing about Twitter, you know. It's so cool. It's so cool, man.
Yeah.
It's good.
And then my last major kind of geekdom world is I totally binged Stranger Things, and I knocked out both seasons.
In how many days?
In like 2.5 days. Because I'm a winner, people. I'm a winner. So I have so many things to say about it.
It took you long enough. Yeah, it took you long enough.
Yeah, it was one of those things where people kept being like, Heather, you have got to watch this. And I just never sat down to watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
And now you have.
Now I have, and I love 11. I think she's amazing. Dustin is
awesome.
Hysterical.
Yeah.
You just want to be that kid's friend.
Yeah.
And major props to Winona Ryder. I think
she's amazing.
She has done a phenomenal job as that character in this neurotic mother. I think she deserves a lot of praise for that. And Sean Astin coming out of the woodworks, that was super awesome.
He's so good, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just, he is really well. He's just a great character. I think he's fantastic in the Halloween episode,
Oh my gosh.
But it's also heartbreaking. So yeah.
So, but I have one other piece, but I'm gonna throw it to Todd.
Okay.
Okay. Todd, what's up, yo?
I don't have celebrities retweeting or making outfits for celebrations, so I feel like I'm failing again. And you should have gone. I should have went first.
I know.
And then you would have. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. No. Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet came out on Blu-ray, so pick that up and watch that with the kiddos. Trent and I saw it in the theaters, but then the whole family got together and we watched it. And there's a ton of cameos and Easter eggs in that, and it's worth a watch. Lots of fun stuff there.
Cool.
So watch that. Saw Frozen, as I previously mentioned, gotta watch Frozen. And Friday, we watched The Force Awakens as I got ready for my first troop, which happened today as of recording on Saturday. And so it was my first troop of the year. And it was at a library con, like the Library Comic Con, and, had artists there and comics and just get kids to read, people, not just their tablets and their phones, and got to read books. But yeah, so out there with the 501st and the Midwest Garrison, so it was a lot of fun. And my good friend Heather was there. I got to share. She's like, you're like extended family. So like Jen, Trent, and Ellie were there, and you got to be part of that as well. And, started taking pictures and photographs. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And why we're laughing about, because like one of the Rebel Legion was there, and she was Ahsoka, and she was the adult Ahsoka, like a full Torga. What is she, a Torga? I don't know. She's got a full like head tail,
the full
like
head
tail, headpiece, and it was great. It looked great. And Heather leans towards me, because I can't really hear very well in the TK. But she's like, look at that, Asaka. I'm like, Asaka? What are you, Southside? It's not Asaka, it's Ahsoka. Oh, and so we had a good laugh there. It was
I
so much
had
fun.
to hand in my Star Wars fan card for a second.
It's so much fun. So, when Ashley, when you meet Ashley and you're just like, oh, I love Asaka, she will delete that tweet and say, be gone with you, even though you bought my book,
I know.
So
Ahsoka. I just have to like retrain my brain.
Yeah. Yeah, but I was telling my wife Jen on the way home about these troops. Like I feel like sometimes the kids, they're just so overwhelmed. And so if you're very familiar with the Christmas Story, when the two Ralphie and his brother go up to meet Santa, it's like too much. It's too much. Like they're like ho ho ho, and they swim around. And, what do you want? And he's crying. And I kind of had that image too, because like some kids get it. They know what they're doing. They go right up there. Some kids just stare at you and they don't know. They don't. They just freeze. And some people are scared and all this. But I feel like some people are just like, they're so frozen. They're just like, I don't know what to do. Yeah. And I was laughing because I'm like, it was like Christmas Story for some of those kids. It was like the parents are trying to direct them and we're trying to direct them, and it's a lot of fun. But it's like you got to be on your A game if you're going to go to like a bigger one, like Celebration or Comic-Con or something like that. But the library, I think that's where you can get some experience, and get the kids going, the parents going.
Yeah.
Some parents can't even operate their phones, you're just like, dude, I've been smiling under this bucket for like 10 minutes, but it's so much fun. I always love doing it. It's always great. And so finally got the first one out of the way. So,
but it's super worth it because I got to see this one little boy get his photo taken with Todd, and his smile was so big. He was so excited, and so it's always cool to see 501st and Rebel Legion it's really bringing joy to kids. So
right, and like for me too, like I always have to think about that too, even though I'm like sweating my butt off and I need water and I'm dying. Like might be the first time a kid seeing a stormtrooper not in the movies. And so try to make it as interactive as possible. So that's why I do it. And it's so much fun and I love it. So, but cool. We got to geek out together. So I think that's even cooler. So there you go. We mixed it up today.
We did,
Heather. Yeah,
but
we still have to end this thing.
We do still have to end it. So let me go ahead and do that for us. Okay. So, thanks again for listening to another episode of WSTR Galactic Public Access. Check us out on our social media, WSTR Media, all lowercase, all one word. Get to see all of the cool things that we've talked about in these episodes and other things, and we just keep you informed in all the things going on in the Star Wars universe.
It's almost too much.
It's almost too much. But like too much in a good way. So but then the best part about it is you get to comment and tweet us and rate us and tell us what you think by emailing us at mailbox@wstrmedia.com. Tell us what you think about the Blu-rays. Tell us what you love or don't love about Star Wars, and we'll chat about it and flesh it out for you. You can even call us. Leave us a voicemail message.
Call us?
You can call us, people. It's the digital age.
We won't answer. We won't answer, though.
No. But if you leave us a message, we'll listen to it, and it'll be heartwarming. It'll be great. So that number, 630-557-WSTR, 630-557-9787. And again, if this is your 100th time or first time listening, but you just love us, you check out our back catalog at podcast.wstrmedia.com. Todd mentioned it. I'm repeating it because it's all about the merch, people.
Right.
Store.wstrmedia.com. It's going to get you all the things that you need to stay bundled and not bundled, drink your coffee, whatever you need to do. And support this amazing podcast. And because I didn't have any news trailers and sneak peeks for you because we just jumped in, I do have a little spoiler I'd like to share with you guys.
Oh, do tell.
So drum roll, please. We've got a new look coming.
What?
And I'm not talking about me shaving my head so that I match the guys. What I'm talking about is potentially we've got some new logo stuff coming up. So keep those eyes peeled to the social medias. And if we get to see you at C2E2 here in March in Chicago, and of course Star Wars Celebration, you will definitely be seeing some very cool things that we are super excited about for WSTR. So
you answer a question, or we're going to ask you a question, and you answer it. You're going to get a pin.
What?
That's the tease right there.
I love it. So get studied up on your Star Wars education, people.
You never know what we're going to do.
Is it Ahsoka or Asaka? You just don't know.
If the answer was Ahsoka and somebody said Asaka,
I will give you a pin.
I would withhold that pin. I say, listen, you gotta step up your game.
I'm just saying.
But we're not perfect people here, so it's all good. It's all good.
So
half the time I can't remember. I can't say half these names. I know them. I just can't.
Can I buy a vowel, please? There's just
right. It's just too much. Too much. Yeah. So new look coming. We're super excited about that. So
lots of fun things in the future, and that future includes next week's episode.
Oh yeah.
113.
113.
I'm thinking we're going to talk about Star Wars, but don't ever hold your breath, people.
We could change it up again.
There's so much going on.
Just like this episode. You never know. Trying to keep it fresh here.
Fresh. Okay.
Fresh. Yep.
Well, Todd, we've had a very exciting episode.
It has been fun.
So.
And we missed you, Aaron, wherever you are in
the universe.
No, he's at the Jedi Temple.
Oh, that's right.
With all his holocrons studying, and we want to thank JD again for helping bail us out because we were lost. So yeah, we appreciate that. But hey, it's been fun. There's only one way to end this, Heather. Only one. So we should probably end it that way. That's right. We're not going to change that quite yet. Not yet. We freak out about change. Our listeners might freak out about change and like, wait, that's not how you always end the episode. So consistency. But we are going to do it. Let's do it. Consistency. Yeah. Now this is